One-A-Day Dick Weber Open is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Bear Aspirin, expect wonders. And by the United States Bowling Congress, the all-new Bowl.com, your online source for all things bowling. Log on to Bowl.com today. And we welcome you back to live coverage of the One-A-Day Dick Weber Open. Nothing but strikes while we were away. Bill O'Neill dropped 3 in a row, looking for a ham bone right now. Ham bone! Show me those signs, Fountain Valley.
I like that we went to break and all of a sudden it got super exciting. Sorry, audience.
Come on.
That's why you got to come to the live event. Come on. So O'Neill dropping 4 in a row right now. He has the lead. Well, actually, it's even right now. Schaefer with strikes in the 5th and the 6th while we were away. There's O'Neill with the 10-pin lead as Schaefer gets ready to close the 7th. Strike here will even things up.
Ryan Schaefer really dialed in. He's using 2 different bowling balls, a more aggressive ball in the left lane, something that goes a little bit straighter on the right. And that was kind of the common theme all week here, where the left lane actually hooked a little bit more than the right lane. You can see he's deeper on the left than he is on the right. The adjustments the players had to make.
Can I get a re-rack even though I picked up
do
my ball?
Do the bowlers, if one's doing well, does the other guy feed off it?
I think so. I really think that when you're pushed by your opponent, it just makes you feel it. It makes you concentrate that much more. You get your adrenaline going, and it really keeps your mind into the match.
Oh, you were
Could have been back-to-back ham bones.
you had the ham bone ready to go.
Something might have exploded internally.
Now, you didn't name the fifth. If there's a 5th strike, you haven't named that.
No, Bill O'Neill is waiting potentially. I know you have a story for that one. Potentially.
Potentially.
But first, here's Schaefer with a little bit of a mess he's got to clean up here, Randy.
Well, he got that one inside of target and leaves a very unusual 3-4 split.
Frame there for Schaefer, and we urge you to head on over to PBA.com right now and submit your More of What Matters to You fan question. The question, which is sponsored by One-A-Day, is going to be directed today to the sports guy, Bill Simmons.
Thank you.
We'll have that one a little bit later. If your question is picked, you'll have your name and a question read over the air. Are you nervous?
This is so tense. I wish I had cigarettes right now.
Over to PBA.com for the One-A-Day fan question to Bill Simmons. Bill O'Neill looking for 5 in a row. He goes Brooklyn, and what do we call 5 in a row now? Do you have a name for it?
Veal chop. Does that work? Nah, I'll work on it.
That's all right. You got an hour and a half.
Makeup, I guess.
Now, this is just a huge break. He takes advantage of the open frame by Ryan Schaefer. That could have been a big, ugly split.
How about I go in the
What a cruel sport at times bowling can be. Bill O'Neill takes advantage, gets a great break, and now has a 5-bagger. See, that's what I call it, Bill.
I like that.
5-bagger.
I like the 5-bagger. That's a good one. Can we go with that, Rob?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You got something for 6 in a row?
I think at that point you go with foreign languages.
O'Neill a 7-pin shy of cracking open a 6-pack there, and
I like
down
that.
to 23.
That was good.
Pretty good shot here. Just drifts a little, just a pinch light in the pocket. He could have carried the 7-pin and pretty much sealed the deal. It puts him in the high 220s, the best Ryan Schaefer can do if he strikes out 224.
O'Neill picks that one up. Schaefer pops right out of the seat to get ready for his effort in the 9th. And Ryan Schaefer, probably the most superstitious guy on the tour. He always has to pick up the ball with his left hand. The jerseys he wears through the week has to be in the same order all week. Goes royal blue, burgundy, then purple, and then the finals he'll figure it out. And then has to have 8s and 5s in the serial number of the bowling ball he uses.
What do you make of that, Bill?
I think it's called OCD.
he needed that one to
Is that
drop.
it?
No, it's not it,
Move
but it's not
5
looking
now.
good. With a spare here, he can strike out to shoot 214. Bill O'Neill with any kind of mark is going to be in the 220s.
Randy, I didn't realize your math skills were this good. I mean, you really got to calculate this immediately.
Years of keeping score. When I
Rob
was a
can't
kid.
do this. He just looks at you for help for every time the score needs to be calculated.
That's pretty much the main reason Randy's here in my book. Except that you're right, because when I first started doing this, I just look at these numbers and I'm like writing, I'm drawing, I'm carrying things over, and Randy's like, that'll be a that and that of this, and after a while I just said, you know what, this is Randy's strength. Let's just leave it to Randy. One of the many strengths you bring to our broadcast.
You're only saying that because Bill's here.
No, I mean it. ESPN kicks off Super Bowl week in South Florida today with the 2010 Pro Bowl, the NFL's top stars, all on one stage the Sunday before the Super Bowl. McDonald's presents the 2010 Pro Bowl on ESPN today. Coverage begins with NFL Countdown at 5:30 Eastern, kickoff at 7:20 Eastern. Schaefer to begin the 10th. Floating a little wide right.
See, he had a superstition about Pro Bowl promos right before he bowls. He never does well when that happens. Well played, Bill.
And now it's over.
Now it's over.
Yeah,
Oh, you just calculated that.
FYI, it's done.
You're like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. It's like immediately. 210 max.
So Bill O'Neill moves on, and he will take on Pete Weber in our next match. Good pickup for Schaefer. This will be a disappointing end for him.
You know, and I think when you talk to any player out here, they would all agree that Ryan Schaefer should have double-digit titles, a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame, and you know, it's just the one glaring number that really stands out. The 4 titles, and yeah, I said it again, Bill. Only 4 titles.
Keep bringing it up, Randy.
22nd year on the tour.
Has it been bad luck, or is it something where in the final round he just doesn't do it?
It's been a combination of things. Bad luck, some poor play.
He also seems to be matched up against some of the best every time he's on TV. He was telling us yesterday, can somebody please look up the stat of when I'm on the show, how many times Walter A. Williams Jr., Norm Duke, or Pete Weber have been on?
Right, and look at this show. You've got Bill O'Neill, Michael Fagan with Pete Weber and Walter Ray. I mean, it doesn't get any stronger than that.
Will not drop. And Bill O'Neill, you're moving on. What are your thoughts on taking Pete Weber on in the next match?
I'm just hoping I can throw some good shots like I did there in the middle of that game. It's always nice to bowl Pete. I think Pete usually brings out the best of me.
That's Bill O'Neill, courtesy of PBA Inside Angle.
Keep it up. Thank you.
That's right. He's got his hands full.
O'Neill wins it.
Holding back.
Up next,
I owe him.
Pete Weber. He'll get emotional talking about his late father. This is the one-a-day Dick Weber Open.